What is going on, everyone? Billy here. Lights, camera, action figures. At ActionFigures is my handle on YouTube. Thunder Punch He-Man on Instagram. And as you can see here, we do have the new Lion-O, the crossover with MOTU, Thundercats. Now, in case you didn't know, when you hear me say Thunder Punch He-Man, yes, that's a figure that I adore and love, but it's Thunder Punch He-Man because of Thundercats. Most people don't know this, and I've said this a few times, so it's probably getting worn out now, but I'm more of a Thundercat fan than I am a MOTU fan. Now, don't go crazy. I still love MOTU, but Thundercats is number one, okay? Then it's MOTU, then I'd probably say Mask, the Mobile Armor Strike Command, which, by the way, is making a debut here soon. Loyal Subjects will be releasing that. I'm really looking forward to that. I cannot wait for that. Although my vintage collection is gone, I no longer own any of it, so I just cannot wait to get my hands on this new stuff. Thundercats, though, I'm very partial to, and in a sense where I'm a little more deeper than most folks. And I've owned everything in the Thundercats line, vintage, from box to carded to loose, maybe 2 or 3 times over. I've owned stuff from other countries, from Glasslight to, LJN, of course, being a U.S. release, Playful, Argentina. I've had so many different things. I've been very blessed to have many things. I've had the, Cat's Lair in mint condition. I've had it in okay condition. I've had it complete, not complete, you name it. So, but Thundercats is my thing. And if obviously you saw the thumbnail, all the pictures, of all the Lion-Os up here, there are some missing. So there's a 2011 missing. There's a Mezco. There's 2 Mezcos, one light up eyes, one regular that is not up here. Which I do not own, and I regret not purchasing those when they were on clearance at Target or Toys R Us. The 2011 stuff I did have. There were 2 different sizes, if you remember that. There's like a 4-inch and like a 6-inch kind of line going on. And then, but it just wasn't my thing. I don't know. At that time, I was going through some changes, and I was going, collecting classics, Master Universe classics. But anyway, also, there's no minifigure here. Now, I do own half of the minifigures from the 80s, but I do not have Lion-O, and I do not have, I don't have his sword. I don't even have him now at this point. I've tossed him somewhere in a drawer. So I do have him, but I don't know where he is. He was missing paint, very, very rough. I keep this here on the wall. But it's a little eraser, So I've got a lot of Lion-O stuff. With that being said, there are some things I'm missing. And like I said, 2011. That's a line that I did like. At that time, I was still trying to chase down the rest of the 25th anniversary from G.I. Joe. I was trying to get classics. It just wasn't a priority for me. So it is what it is. But what we're going to do is, real quick, we're just going to scan over here. And I apologize for the noise on the slide here. But now this is from Mondo. They do great work. This is not my favorite style. He has like this fur-like, body. And Mondo always puts their twist on things, which is fine. But it's not my thing. Now, this is not King Lion-O. Please, I've had many debates with this. It's not King Lion-O. This is Lord Lion-O. This is officially Lord Lion-O. Now, he's always Lord Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats. But this is after the Anointment Trials. And so, if you go through and you watch I think it's a 5-part series, the Anointment Trials, he faces Wile E. Kit and Kat, Tigra, Panthro, Chitara, and of course, he has to gain their insignia, the Thundercat symbol from them. and he has no weapon. He doesn't have the Sword of Omens or the Claw Shield. And then once he, spoiler alert, what, 30 years later, 40 years later, excuse me, he gets the anointment. So he gets the crown, he gets the, the cape. And so he's anointed Lord Lion-O officially. All right, so enough of that, right? We'll move on to the next one. Now, you're probably wondering, what's this? Now, this is Bandai. Just terrible job. But I love it. I love this figure. As you can see right here, like the joints, they're not painted. You see right here where the wrist is, it's not painted. If I can get a little closer in there. Go down here on the feet. You can see where, like, right here and here, just, it's not painted. You come up here, you can see where the chest area doesn't match the neck, the face. Now, this is an SDCC exclusive for Toys R Us from 2011. Okay, that's the same year they did the Classics, Bizarro, and Faker through Toys R Us. Very hard to get that particular piece. I was able to score that, and I got 2 of these. And he comes with a chrome sword, mini sword, and a full sword, and a little display piece. It's really cool. If you can get this, I would get it. It does suck with, matter of fact, let's do this. Let's pull this out. I'm getting ahead of myself here. But I just want to do this for a second. And if you don't like this, man, I'm sorry. I apologize. I know I'm getting off track here from what we're doing. But I want to show you something. So, excuse me. This is Bandai. This is 2011. This is 1985. I mean, like, look, there's no pins in the legs. I understand it's a single joint, just the waist. But, like, it's painted correctly. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's bothersome that, I mean, how many years later? Like, look at this. I'm sorry about the shadow there, but there's pins in the calves. There's pins in the thighs. There's pins in the arms. There's just pins everywhere. And it's a shame because it's a really great figure. Now, I've seen them online for like $80, $70, $60 even. I wouldn't pay that. I'd probably pay $30, maybe $25. There's another version of this that's not, doesn't have the pearl like paint, doesn't have all the shadowing. It's not from SDCC, it's a regular release. It comes in a clear bubble packaged window. I mean, you can get that cool. There's a tiger as well. That's the only 2 they made in this scale. It's a very tall figure. I don't have Tigra. I like to have him, but I'm not going to spend, $40, $50 or whatever he goes for. But I wanted to bring that up. I'm sorry. I'm getting off track here. But as you can see, we have plenty of figures, Lion-O's anyways. But today the spotlight is on the Masters of the Universe crossover with Thundercats, the Lion-O. I'm going to pull him out. We're going to see how he compares to, we've got a buck for the cartoon series, and we also have a buck for the Origins. We're going to see how those compare. I'll put a few, other Thundercats, next to that to check them out. Specifically these 2 right here, Savage World and Super 7. These are the last, 10 years, 15 years, 10 years? Yeah, about 10. This is in the last 6-8 months, maybe a year. And this is going to be in the last 10 years. So, it's 8 years. We'll see how these compare to this. The other ones, of course, the reason why I have these out here is because, this has light up eyes, like the vintage. Now, I do have the deluxe in this without the light up eyes, but the light up eyes is great. Then, of course, the one in the back right here, he has pins, as you can see. and then where you have one here, which is LJN style with no pins. So there's just so many different, you know, iterations or variations or just so many different figures of Lion-O, which I didn't realize. You know, I always thought it was a line that was not respected and not, you know, taken seriously. Or I'm like, man, like Spider-Man, you know, he's got like 50 freaking movies like in the last 10 years or 20 years. Like, how can he keep putting out a movie? Batman, Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Lion-O's got like 2 figures. And then I started pulling them out. I'm like, man, we've got some Lion-O figures. We've got a few. Now, I won't do these, you know, I won't do Mum-Ra like this. I won't do anything else. You know, I have the figures, but I'll just do this one this way. So I won't show all this again. But I'm really happy to see Lion-O and the Thundercats represented the way they have been. I am grateful because it's something that was dear to my heart, and I'm very excited about this. Now, I have some expectations for this, so I've already gone over the card, I've gone over the figure, just while it's in the package. I'm going to lay those things out for you here in a second. It's not going to be great, I can already tell you that. Does it matter? Probably not. I didn't like this, you know, 10, 15 years ago, 2011. I love it now. So that kind of tells you where your mindset may be. Right now, I may not love this, but 3, 4 years from now. And if you notice that, a lot of people, that's what happens with stuff like prices go up, because I think people at the time like, I don't want that. Then later they like it or they want it, and then prices go through the roof. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing open. Before I do that, I'll show you the card back and all. I'm going to get these other figures moved, and we'll go ahead and check out the Lion-O crossover with MOTU. Stay tuned. All right, so we're back. We have everything out of the way. And we've got Lion-O on the card here. So let's bring him up, show him off a little bit. You can see here he comes with some different legs, which are going to be like his vintage look. Does have the full sword here. He's got some armor with the logo for Thundercats on there. He does have 2 sets of hair, which I'm assuming this is going to come off the piece around his face. He's got a little piece of armor here on the side. It looks like Eternia, the lion's head. Looks really nice. The gauntlet here, or the claw shield, is, you know, I know it as. I'm not real big on that. I'm not a fan of that. On the back, it shows, if I can go ahead and get this, it shows it kind of being like the fingers move, but when you look at it, it's fixed. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't open. It's molded shut. Another thing, so you can see the rocks, you know, busting off just like you would on a vintage figure. It looks, on a vintage MOTU figure, I should say. They didn't do the black and white background, which is fine because it's a MOTU crossover. Masters of the Universe being the main thing here. But what I would say is that, you know, there's a missed opportunity here. And if you agree with me, fine. If not, you know, fine. But show me where on this packaging, other than right here, you see right here the silhouette of his head and his left shoulder. Where do you see Lion-O in his traditional get-up as a Thundercat? Everything is crossover. This doesn't show nothing but his face and just his shoulder. Doesn't show his belt, his legs, you know, what he could look like as a Thundercat. Now, I do get that it's meant to be MOTU, but I would think you'd want to show what the people are buying. Let's say dad walks up or mom comes up and she watched this or he watched this as a kid, and the kid wants one. And you're like, you know, that's cool and all. I turn around and go, well, damn, I can make him Lion-O, because they might not understand what the legs pop off easily and the feet and all this other stuff like we do. And you say, well, man, all right, son or daughter, whatever, or, you know, your kid, you know, I'll go ahead and get you, I'll get you one, and I'll get me one. And then you sell 2 instead of 1. So Yeah, it's a little nitpick. It's stupid, but it is what it is. I think it's a missed opportunity. You know, I had a complaint with Super 7 about the background on their cards, but they were doing just straight up Lion-O 5.5. This is more appropriate, obviously. The rocks exploding, instead of being red, they're blue. For the Thundercats, it looks great. I think Mattel, here's the thing. Their artists and their artwork, their packaging design, they knock it out of the park every time. And that's really what keeps a lot of people coming back to it. So congratulations to them on that. In my opinion, I think it looks great. Figure itself, man, we're gonna pull him out. We're gonna see how he compares to a couple other figures, and we're gonna see if it's worth the money. So let's rip him out and let's see. All right, we're back. We've got him open, and I can tell you right now, just by holding him, touching him, looking at him, I don't know if you've seen the news. Eternium Royalty and I myself did a video a couple days ago. Make sure you check that out. Toy Habits put up some news that's been confirmed that 2026 is going to be a focus for MOTU Origins for 2000X. I guarantee you, almost guarantee that this buck right here is going to be 2000X. It just feels, that stylized, the way it is. I just feel like this is really going to be that buck they're going to use. I could be wrong, obviously, naturally, but it's definitely different. It feels different. It feels pretty good out of package. You can see where the forearms are a little large. That 2000X, they have that bulkiness. The torso is a little small, but maybe they'll do some like custom torsos for certain figures to give them that larger look. But here we go out of package. You can see he does have the chest armor plate here with the logo. The logo is almost straight across. Looks good. Again, the Eternia face here on the shoulder pad here. It looks pretty good. This is terrible here. I guess this will pop right off. Let's just see. Yeah, this does not look good. Whoever did this, whatever idea was, I don't like that. But we'll leave it off for a moment. He's going to be handless. Now, if you look at this right here, I thought this was one piece. I thought, how the butt comes apart. You see that? I thought that was one piece, and I was like, well, man, that's a missed opportunity because of this. But it does come with a belt, just like the vintage figure style. So if you pop this off, I guess we'll go ahead and get into that now. You can slide this up and off, just like that. It's all one piece. The loincloth, and it is painted here, and you can slide the belt on. See how easy that is. I haven't tried any of this off camera, so if it's not easy, then it's not easy. That's not too bad. My hands are a little jacked up, so it's a little tough for me, but for you, it'll be easy for you. All right, we're getting somewhere now. Let's go ahead and pull this off, which is cool. Whatever. I'm more interested in the actual Lion-O, so, now this does hold Sword of Omens. Cool thing about Sword of Omens, does have the Eye of Thundera on one side, and then of course the logo, and then the eye on the other side. And it does have a glass appearance to it. It doesn't look too bad. From being in the package, it's got a little bit of a bend, but it's not bad. But he can sheath the sword there in his back with his armor. Well, let's get this off. You gotta remove the head. You got to remove the body and the head just like you do on the other figures. So we'll go back off again. We'll take this head off. And as you can see here, it does have a nice pearl like essence to it. It's a solid piece, so you got to remove the waist, and you're going to have to remove the head unless you want to pull it over. So it does clip in with one clip there on the back. See how easy that is to put back. Yeah. So it's not too terrible. It looks good. You did a pretty good job on that. So let's start working on this Lion-O here. Let's get him put back on. This gauntlet, this has got to go, because that's, I can tell you right now, Jesus God knows. That's going to be MOTU. Pull that off. Put the hand back in. That's really on there for me. Again, my hands are not perfect. Before I put the head back on and put you know, the hair piece and the legs, I want to check something out real quick. Let's bring in a MOTU buck. Let's just stand the legs up here. Let's do this. Just want to see what the difference is size-wise. Wow. Huge difference. Look at that. I mean, that's crazy right there. I mean, the Thundercats piece is much taller than the Origins. Well, much, but in my opinion, it's much taller. Now, some of this may be because the knees are, well, even the knees are slightly different height, but it goes down the calf. So the boots, even if we were to replace the boots, let's just get an idea. I'll just put one here. Yeah, this is much larger. Yeah, it's much larger. Let's bring in this this Beast Man real quick from the cartoon line, cartoon collection. Let's bring in his lower body here. Make sure I get it to stand correctly. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so that's a little closer. Actually, it's a little taller. So the Origins piece is much smaller, as you can see in height. The thighs are much larger than, it looks like they're even larger than the cartoon collection. This is much thinner. So you do have a slender thigh and calf compared to the Origins and the cartoon collection. Of course, the cartoon collection is smaller than the Origins buck, like width-wise, but it is taller. So that's interesting to see. So go ahead and pull these back out. So what we'll do is go ahead and pull this off. Actually, you know what? You know what we'll do? Hold on, let's do this. Let's do this for a second. Hold on, bear with me. I'm gonna put his hand in here. Come on, don't break my hands. So this right here, put him down for just a second. I'm gonna bring the He-Man in. Let me get his armor off. And again, the He-Man's the same thing. You usually have to pull the head off to get the top off. It's one piece, just like, you know, the Lion-O. So we'll go ahead and check this out. All right. So as you can see here, this is definitely bulkier. Now, this does have, it's pliable right here, but it is a part of the buck when it comes down to here. Actually, no, it will come off. I'm wrong. Look at this. Oh, it's beautiful. I might like this. I don't know. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Ladies, gents, peeps, guys, everybody. Hold on. Oh, my God. Look at the difference in size. The Origins buck is massive compared to the Thundercats piece. Holy cow. All right, I'm going to pause it for a second because I got to get my stuff together here. This is crazy. Hold on, before I do that, let me bring in the let me bring the buck in for the cartoon collection real quick. Let's pull this head off Beast Man. This is great, man. Wow. Who would have thought that, huh? That comes off. That's great. I mean, that goes to show you right there. I'm telling you, that's going to be 2000X. You guys mark that down. Or write that down. I don't know. What's the right word for that? Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. Dude, look how small. Look how small the Thundercats crossover buck is compared to the Origins and the cartoon collection. Wow. It is tiny. I mean, that's small, man. All right. Give me a second. Let me get the legs switched out on the Lion-O, and then I'll come back on. All right. So I'm coming back now because I do want to show this on camera. I am changing these out. These are different than the Origins pieces or the cartoon collection because it doesn't just pop off at the calf. The shoe also, or the boot, it also pops straight off. And I want to go ahead and show you while I'm on camera if it'll work out well. Hopefully it will. That comes off. Got to have a little oomph. These are labeled R and L, so you'll know if it's right or left. Damn. You got to be like, well, again, my hands are messed up, but like Hercules. So the foot should pop off as well. There it is. Pops right off. So you've got a foot now. And this piece will be for your He-Man side of things. All right, and we'll pop this shoe or boot or whatever it is your preference is for calling it that. We gotta get this thing. All right, man, it's a pain in the ass. All right, so we're getting there. We're building this guy. All right, so there he is with his traditional look, leaning back a little bit. That's okay. Right now, we got the idea here. Let's take and put, excuse me, now that we have these feet on, same size as the cartoon collection, just about roughly. And then if we bring back in the Origins piece, look at that. Look at the difference in that. Wow. Much smaller. The Origins is definitely smaller. It's crazy. It's crazy how much smaller that is. All right. So let's go ahead and get this guy put together here. Let's put the armor back on him. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me zoom back out. Give me a second here, guys. Ladies, gents, peeps. Yeah. Sorry for some of the lighting too. Usually I don't go this far in depth. You know, I don't usually do this, but for this, we got to be all in, man. It's Lion-O. Lord of the Thundercats. It says it on the package. Make sure you remember that. Come on. Please don't hurt my hands any more than you already have. All right. Not too bad. I don't know. As a kid, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm just going to say that out loud. All right. So let's do this. Still in, there we go. Hold on. There we go. There we go. All right. Come on, stand up for me, man. The feet don't want to do like the boots. The feet don't want to do like the boots. If I can get this camera straight, please bear with me. I'm sorry. There we go. All right. So, got him going. Get his arms down here. Come on. What's going on there? The joints are actually pretty good. It's just the feet are a little bit funky. It's probably from popping them on and off. But he's starting to come together. Starting to look a little vintage-ish. Let's see. All right, so the next piece is going to be this head right here. So apparently we're going to snap off or pop off this hair. You don't want to see Lion-O bald? There you go. Dude, it's like Panthro / Tigra, whatever. It's kind of wild. All right, just press that in there. Ronald McDonald in the house. Here's the house. Get you a nugget. All right, now we're getting somewhere. I'm assuming the claw shield is gonna. Damn, I don't even know. Does that go in there like that? I hope not, because that looks like stuff. That doesn't look good. You know what we should do? We should look at the instructions to make sure. Damn feet. Come on, man. You did so well earlier. Don't do this now. Don't do this now. I didn't even show the comic off, so I'll do that now anyways. Oh, he fell over. You can see there MOTU Crossover Thundercats. Got Lion-O, the He-Man with the long hair, Chitara. I thought that the Battle Cat figure was going to be like wave 2 or 3, but he's in this first comic. He's on the back, Battle Cat Man. But I want to pull this out. I want to see if it shows you. Doesn't show you what goes on the side. It shows you what pieces change, but there's only one. There's a little slot there. Maybe somebody can help me here. What is that for? I mean, it's gotta be. This has a peg, which doesn't even fit because of the maybe it goes back. I don't know. It's fucking terrible. Excuse my language. I usually don't say those things, you know that. So if I say it, it's bad. But the figure is looking pretty good, but these legs are starting to piss me off because these feet don't want to cooperate. All right, what else we got here? Okay, we're going to put the sword in his hand. We can do that without damaging anything. Nice, goes in pretty easy. Can we get the pose? I don't think we can get the pose. No, we can't get it. But all right, here's my opinion. It's okay. Scale of 1 to 10. If we were doing that, I'd say 7 maybe. He wants to just be a pain in the ass. He's cool. Is he worth the money? I don't know. I think they'll be on sale eventually. I think this buck will be reused. It's a nice buck, but changing out the feet and changing out all the stuff is kind of a pain in the you know what. I can't believe they don't show this on the package at all. You know, this complete transformation. But who am I? I'm not a professional, so I don't know. But there you have it. There's Lion-O, crossover MOTU, changed out, took all the stuff off. Let's bring in Super 7's 5.5. Don't knock him over because he's gentle now. And we'll bring in the Funko Savage World 5.5. And there you go. Let me know what you think. I apologize for the review being kind of all over the place. It's just, he's a pain in the ass to change. For me. But again, I will stress this. My hands are bad. It's hard for my fingers, you know, to do certain things. So maybe that's why The claw shield, I don't know what's going on with that. What else would go there? I mean, the only thing he has is boots, the his loincloth, the gauntlet, his hair, his chest piece. I mean, nothing else goes there. I mean, that's it. That's the only thing that has a peg. They fit in that hole. So there's a comparison for the other two 5.5s that are available. I'm trying to think if there's anything else 5.5 Thundercats. I don't believe there is. I think when it comes to the head sculpt, I think that Super 7 crushes it when it comes to the look of the cartoon. The Savage World, I'm not a fan of at all. 0% fan. Sorry if I don't want to break your heart, but I'm not a fan at all. This one here, I'm a 50-50 fan. We'll say that. I think it's a 7 out of 10 as far as a figure. I think they did a decent job. The buck is very nice. It's got a unique look to it. It's tall, yet it's small in the chest area. Once that armor's off of there, you saw that. I don't know. It's not. The face could have been better if they'd have done it like the card back. If this would have been the face right here, like imagine that, instead of that right there. But it is what it is. It's okay. Mattel's team's doing what they can do. I mean, but it's not great though. They have potential for greatness, and it's not great. That's just my opinion. I won't be buying any more unless it's something I really want. Like, let's say they do a driller or a crossover. I do have the Mumra, the Skelra, if that's what they're calling it. But I won't do a review like this for that. This is just going all out, trying to show you the differences in the figures. If they do, what's another figure they could do that I'd be purchasing? I mean, I don't know. There's nothing else that I would need or want. If I have to do all that to change this shit, I don't want to do it. So anyway, let me know what you think. Comment below. Subscribe if you want to. I got more stuff coming up. I have some people coming on the channel. I've got Nick Dupes coming up. I've got Pixel Dance supposed to be coming on. I'm supposed to be getting Brian Flynn back on. And Charlie 5.5. I'm going to try to get a couple other folks on. So we're doing some talking. Attorney and Royalty, Mike and myself, we're going to be doing once a week or once every other week. We're doing some update on, some news, different opinions we have and all. So make sure you subscribe so you can watch that on the weekends. But let me know what you think. That's Lion-O crossover. Is he worth the money? The $22, $25, $30. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what. I'm sure people will buy it up for this first round, but from there, see what happens. So thanks again, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care and be safe. Later.